And with a mighty roar, the main course heads toward your table, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. And while that is happening, we would like to take a moment here to thank all the track owners who have made it possible for us to create all the memories, I guess, that I've been referring to up to this point of the evening in 1992. At this time, I want to recognize the representatives of the various tracks who played host to the series in this year, and some of the gang who have joined us here tonight. For example, right off the top, we have our representatives from the Molson Indies, which we're so proud to be a part of. And I think what is special here is that this gentleman this year is, in fact, also celebrating his 25th year in promoting our rather interesting sale of the world of motorsport as far as sponsors are concerned, as far as the media are concerned. 25th year. Fortunately, his wife Betty is not that old. Would you welcome Sid and Betty Priddle? And I know they're hiding here somewhere from the Indy crowd. Sid and Betty? Find them. A very big thank you to the Race City Speedway gang. Good Ben Doctor and his lovely wife. They're good people. They could not be here tonight. A big thank you as well to our good friends up at Motorsports Park. They're still racing this evening, I understand, after repairing some more pit wall. And we should be ready for a full day of race activity up there. And a big thank you to the Molson Grand Prix of Canada. We don't have a representative from their group tonight, but to the trio. Hey, let's have a nice round of applause, okay? They've given us a great show over the last year. Representing Cayuga Speedway. Yeah, oh, that's a good table. Bob and Leona Slack from Cayuga. Come on, where are they? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I see. Leona had the hair trim. Yes. They're there. Representing Circuit Mont Tremblant, Mr. Wayne Pollock. And where is Wayne hiding here tonight? You're out here somewhere, Wayne. Come on, give me a nice round of applause. From that famed Grand Prix Players Limited de Trois-Rivières, we have Lauren Germain. Where's Lauren hiding? And Leon Matot. Leon Matot. A hand for both, okay? Nice round of applause. And representing our Moosehead Grand Prix, what a great time in Halifax, Harold McKay. Harold, where are you hiding? Got him here tonight? Welcome him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're trying to dive into this main course. We also have our own little lottery, you know, that is happening throughout the evening. And I should really get to our first draw here right now. Sony of Canada. Another hand for Sony. Thank you. Good folks, they have graciously donated 2 CD AM/FM cassette stereos. So if I may, I will get Pat Kazubek. I know Pat hates to leave a meal. Pat, where are you hiding? And from GM Motorsport. And Nick Bombaco. Nick hates to leave a meal. He really gets... Yeah, right. Players Limited, and we will proceed with this particular draw tonight, okay? The first 2 draws strictly reserved for the Players Limited GM Motorsports Series stewards and scrutineers. Where are they hiding tonight? Oh, I've all gone to rest. For the Eastern Series stewards and scrutineers, we have a Sony AM/FM cassette stereo. And Nick, are you going to do this thing? Or? Where did Pat go? Oh, okay.
Our winner is Tom Meekin.
Oh. Checking with our producer, you have 8 seconds to appear for the prize, ladies and gentlemen. So that's right. Whoa, down fast, okay? I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
This way,
You know what Tommy's like? It'll be the Chieftains. He'll be playing the Chieftains all the time on the stereo there. Now, for the Western Series, We also have a Sony AM/FM cassette stereo, and our winner there as Nick reaches into the drum.
The winner is Pat Gleason.
Pat Gleason. Pat Gleason, come on down. Pat says, is this rigged? No, this is a legitimate draw. Thank you, Pat and Nick. Come on, a little hand for the gang who have taken care of our first draw. Come on, you may be the next winner. Don't go away. I'm with you. We're going to finish some beef off. We'll be right back, okay? Don't. In fact, I'll tell you what. Oh, yeah. Sorry, folks. Here we have another draw. Oh, this one is strictly reserved. Okay, while you continue dining, don't let me disturb. Get more horseradish. She'll be ready. This one is reserved for our Eastern Series and Western Series drivers. It is a Sony Trinitron 20-inch television set. Again, donated by Sony. It will be arriving before our very eyes here within a moment. And I'd like to get Wade Stevenson of Players Limited up here, I think, this time. About time we put Wade to work. And Dennis Abramoff of GM Motorsport. Denny, come on down. Come on down. Where are you, Dennis? And we're going to go for the drivers this time. Their chance for a little Sony Trinitron 20-inch TV set. Okay, about time Dennis did some work here tonight. Here we are. The TV set is handy. Isn't that a beauty? Here you are, folks. Just sort of pause, have a look at that for a moment. Now, we reach over here, the great silver bowl, which is full of drivers' names only, okay? And what do you think? Dennis will do the draw. There you are, my friend.
The winner is Bill DeRosso.
Seven, 5, 4.
Come in behind, Bill.
Quick photo opportunity. There we are. Bill Drossos, eh? Okay. Good choice. Now, our last draw. You ready? Also, a Sony Trinitron 20-inch TV set. It'll be with us in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We prefer our winners to take their items home. Bill, you may have trouble at the Saskatchewan border. That's trying to get that over. Okay, this draw, this is the one you've been waiting for while you try to get back to your veggies. This is addressed to each and every one of us that are in attendance here tonight. My name is there. Everyone's name is there. Tom's name is there. Okay, we didn't put Earl's name in, but yeah, but anyway, let us bring that draw drum around. Oh, we're ready. Oh, these guys don't fool around. All righty. Wade, come on. What, you going to announce this one? You're going to put Dennis to work. Okay.
You said Earl's name wasn't in? Grant Fitzpatrick.
All righty. Beauty. While our winner is coming up here, folks, and we promise we'll keep the lights on the winner for a moment or so, congratulations to all of our winners here tonight. I want to recheck that last bowl, make sure my name was in there. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your meal. We'll be right back, okay? Don't go away. Indeed. You know when we're returning right to the podium during this banquet year. Ladies and gentlemen, the Players Limited GM Motorsports Series would like to acknowledge our associate sponsors. It's that time tonight. So quickly, let's get right to our very dear friends at Goodyear of Canada. They have been associated with the series ever since our beginnings back in 1986. Every vehicle racing in the series equipped with those marvelous Goodyear Eagle ZR50 tires. Now, Goodyear Canada have also presented a set of these superb tires to the driver who led at the halfway point of each race, our mid-race leader. Ladies and gentlemen, it is their time tonight. Would you welcome Chess Hornibrook of Goodyear's Original Equipment Tire Sales Division and his entourage tonight. Here they come with their own giveaway. Look out, you could be the winner. Come on, Chess. Oh, you're alone this year.
Jim, no, I have some people with me.
Okay.
Good evening, race fans. The Players Limited GM Motorsports Series was born in 1986 and is being laid to rest in 1992. That is 7 good years. And Goodyear has been a co-sponsor right from the very start. It was a natural fit for Goodyear to be involved, especially with General Motors and the Camaro and Firebird, since most of those cars came from the factory on Goodyear tires. We feel it has been 7 good years. I know many of you are saddened, maybe even bitter, about the series coming to an end. But like everything else in life, all good things have to come to an end sometime. Players and GM, as the major sponsors, with help from a few of us co-sponsors, have done our best to provide affordable, competitive racing for a lot of competitors who might not otherwise have been able to go racing. We think it was a great thing that these 2 lead sponsors did, and we salute them for it. So, rather than mourn the death of the series, I would like to suggest that the racing fraternity, well represented here tonight, should be celebrating the 7 good years that the GM Motorsports Series provided. A hearty thanks to Players and to GM of Canada. And now, as Jim put it, we have a set of 4 Eagle GA tires to be given away as a draw, and it's open to everybody who is here in the room tonight. And I'm going to ask Gary Dolson of our Public Relations Department to come up here and conduct the draw, since he's paying the bill for these tires.
Thanks, Chess. That was very well spoken. It's nice to be up here again after every year called up here. It's nice to. I'd like to pay tribute to the 2 hardworking individuals that were involved with the Players Limited GM Motorsports Series that represented Goodyear, Doug Fairchild and Bob McAllister. Okay, we're ready. Gary Dolson, Goodyear. Oh, just kidding. Kimberly Vanderlyn. Kimberly Vanderlyn.
Gary always gives the winner a hug. I don't know. He's always given the winner a hug in years past. Way to go, Kimberly. Let's have a hand for Goodyear of Canada. Good luck to them. Thank you, Dean. Let me mention another key supporter of our activities, Sunoco Incorporated. And yeah, where's that Sunoco crowd? They're good people, and they're still awake and with us tonight. Our official supplier of fuel to the Eastern Series, providing cash awards to the fastest qualifier at each Eastern race. And Olga Carmen is going to join us now at the podium. Olga, come on down.
Pardon me? Good evening. I guess my first exposure to this particular series was at the shootout last year, and I was shocked to see our main driver go over in that magnificent role that you've been seeing over and over again. I don't know how many times Rob has seen that barrel roll, but I know I've seen it far too often, and I was pleased to see that we didn't have a repeat of that this year. But we've had less than than a magnificent season. I was sure that the reason that our team wasn't doing that well was because I was religiously attending every race, and I thought I would stop attending races and see if that made a difference. It didn't, unfortunately. But I'm very pleased at the professionalism that I saw among all the drivers. You brought to this series such determination and dedication. I was so pleased to be associated with it, and I know that Sunoco was delighted to have its name associated with such a talented group of drivers. I know that you'll all do well, whatever series you go into, and I know that there are a lot of plans in the making, and I hope that all of you find spots somewhere where you'll be able to demonstrate your talents. It's been a wonderful year for me. I'm sorry that I can't continue on with it, but I know that Sunoco will find other opportunities to associate itself with the racing world. And I'm delighted that all of you could come here for this final banquet and share with all of your friends and your colleagues and the people that you've been associated with for so many years. I'm sorry that I couldn't be with it as long as you have, but I know that you'll have a magnificent evening this evening and really close off the series with a bang. Thank you very much, and I'd like to present this award to, who am I presenting this to?
Earl, who gets the award?
Is this written down here and I'm not reading it?
I wonder if it might be.
Do we have prop failure here? Earl, tell me what I'm supposed to say. Whisper in my ear.
I think it would be appropriate to present it to the winning driver of the drivers on the team.
What does it say here? This is a draw?
If you wish.
Well, we can do that. What do we draw from?
Could we kill the lights, please?
Earl and I have decided to have a romantic moment. We've now decided this is going to actually be a draw.
A draw?
A draw, yes. So we have to draw from this magic bowl over here.
This will be a draw for the drivers again. Gosh, they're everywhere, aren't they, these drivers?
Look at all this loot.
Kenny, we pulled your ticket out ahead of time, by the way. You're done.
What happened to the... Oh. Do I get to pick?
Sure do.
It's Kenny Wilden.
This is what they call an awkward moment.
Ken Staples.
Kenny was a lot faster today.
Congratulations. Hey, way to go. Thank you, Sunoco. They thought, hey, let's give all the gang a shot at this one tonight. A wonderful ongoing associate sponsor. We wish them all well in the future. Ultra, ultra, ultra. Right, go for it. And now we move on to GM Parts, another one of our fine sponsors. They've supported the series since its inception as well. We have a very special gentleman who has joined us for the first time for this sort of gathering in Canada, our new Director of Sales and Marketing for GM Parts and AC Delco. And would you welcome warmly to Toronto and to our podium tonight, Mr. Larry Fink of GM Parts. Larry, your turn.
Very pleased to be here. I'm sure that you've already noticed with the first 2 or 3 words that I don't sound exactly Canadian. Well, I'm not. This is a Southern draw. Where I have been involved in motorsports primarily is NASCAR Winston Cup racing as zone manager for GM Parts in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's interesting here to see the amount of teamwork, the amount of professionalism, and the amount of expertise that has been developed in this series. GM Parts has been very proud to be involved in the series since its inception in 1986. The success of the series is very dependent upon the partnership and the teamwork between Players Limited and the GM Motorsport teams and the GM Motorsport Group and GM of Canada. So if I could ask you to, let's give that teamwork a round of applause. Today was my first exposure to the Players Limited GM Motorsport Series, but it was obvious the amount of pride that has been exhibited here tonight. This type of event I have only seen ever conducted at a Winston Cup Championship. This style of banquet and professionalism. It also requires to have this type of success a group of well-supported associate sponsors, and of course those have included Sunoco, Goodyear, and Mohawk Oil. And that's been a good relationship that we've been involved in as well. Earl told me he'd give me the hook, and I think he's already starting to do that. So without further ado, though, we do have a prize that we'd like to give away tonight. And in case the radio breaks down in terms of car communications, during the race we have a cellular telephone. So at this point, if I could have a magical cup to draw from. Thank you, sir. And this is the drawing that was open to everyone. I was going to ask Jim to help me interpret, and Earl, of course, said he would, but I could handle this one. Craig Pretto is the winner. Hey, Craig Pretto. Jim indicated to me that I might need an English interpreter, and I thought in case I got it something that required some French pronunciation, I'd be totally at a loss. So.
Larry Fink from GM Parts, folks, and Craig Priddle, our winner on this particular draw. Way to go, Craig. Well done, Craig. Good stuff. Thank you, Lord. Welcome to Canada.
Hey,
Good
George,
to have you here.
glad to
We'll
be
change
here.
that accent within a month or two, right?
Taking 41 years to
Yeah, right. Mohawk Oil Company Limited, also a series associate sponsor and official fuel supplier to the Western Series. Mohawk provided cash awards to the fastest qualifier at each of the Western races. And I know that Mr. Jeff Campbell of Mohawk Oil Company Limited has a special presentation to make tonight as well. So would you welcome Jeff to the podium? Jeff, come on down. Gotcha.
You got me. Well, I have a small speech to make. Before presenting the top qualifier award for Mohawk Oil, I'd like to extend my appreciation sincerely to players and General Motors for a fine series over the past several years, particularly Tom Moser and Earl Dickinson, the Duke. As one of Canada's premier racing series, associate sponsors like Mohawk, Sunoco, Goodyear, and GM Parts to Go have a lot to benefit from being associated with this series. We've enjoyed our association, and in fact, as I said in Vancouver, we've learned a lot from being a part of this, particularly from some of the teams and some of the drivers and the whole program involving Procter & Gamble. Let me go on, I'm forgetting here, sorry. But anyway, we've learned that this is a great platform for Mohawk to platform its products and its ethanol-based Premium Plus gasoline. Every year we presented an award to the Western driver who's earned the most qualifying points over the season. This year we had a unique situation where the top qualifier competition was very close. In fact, it was tied, with Frank Allers and Kevin Dowler both finishing with 35 points. To break the tie, we looked at the driver who had the most first-place qualifying results. And while Kevin had one top qualifier and he was very near and dear to us, Frank finished with two, one on the road course in Calgary and the other at the Toronto Indy. So this year's top qualifier, therefore, is a man who's been a dominant force in the West since the beginning of the Players GM Series, Frank Allers. Frank. On behalf of Mohawk, Frank, I'd like to present you with his hand-sculpted jade sculpture and as a memento from Mohawk. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Players Limited GM Motorsports Series would like to honor a very special gentleman. I think I should get Tom Moser up here one more time, if you would, Tom, to join me. And Earl Dickinson, come on, a hand for Tom and Earl one more time. Very special presentation here. You do get better as the night goes on. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. At this time, we want to honor the gentleman who, after our heavy race program today and about 2 hours prior to this banquet, is the only guy I saw up at Motorsport who phoned and ordered a pizza. Thought he'd have a small pizza before he'd come down, you know, to take part in our activity. He has a marvelous staff. He has been extremely wise in his choice of the folks who were going to work around him, and he has a certain propensity for, you know, being attracted to beauty, I've noticed in those choices as well over the years. We are going to have you welcome with a gentle round of applause the man who, in fact, if he eats this way all the time, I would guess would be about 400 pounds, but I get the feeling that over the years of our series, he's suffered a touch of nervous tension. And, in fact, the odd year, yes, the sort of Rocket Ishmael thing has happened in his dealings with some of our competitors. He, in fact, has been our race director and should be honored, I think, before we wrap up this night. Would you welcome Mr. Alan Chapman? Any man with bun marks on the back of his jacket, he's obviously already been seriously wounded tonight, is certainly entitled to drop his trophy. Alan, the podium is yours, my friend.
Thank you. Gosh, it's bright up here. I have a speech. This is going to be very short, but there are one or two people in the room tonight, in fact, more than one or two, that I'd like to say a special thank you to. First of all, the Players Limited GM Motorsports Series wasn't my idea. Somebody way back in the beginning had the vision to conceive it and birth it and make it happen in a difficult environment sometimes, certainly what has become a very supportive one, General Motors. But I'd like to recognize the guy whose idea this was, Martin Shenhall. Martin, are you here tonight? Somewhere? Martin? And someone else, he didn't win the most races this year, and he didn't win the championship this year, but he won the first Players GM Motorsports Series race, the first championship, and he won the last Players GM Motorsports Series championship race in the East, and he's certainly the driver against all of the top Canadian drivers have been measured and probably will be measured for quite some time. Richard Spinard. Richard? And I'd like to say a very brief thank you at the outset to Marilyn and Gail and to Julie and Joanna, Laura. Notice they're all women. To David and to Tom Wilson, you're terrific, and thank you very, very much. This has been a hell of a series. When they talk about the words national, we have been national. We have been from BC to Nova Scotia. When they talk about the words professional, we have been competitive. We've done our best as drivers, crews, organizers. It's been a rocky road, but we have been professional. We've done the best we could under what were sometimes very difficult circumstances. The mission of this series was to bring grassroots motorsports to Canada at the professional level. That's what Martin set out to do, and I think that's what we achieved. This has been the most difficult series to race in for many competitors, and certainly for a lot of you, it is the toughest you'll ever have faced, and probably the toughest that you ever will face. At Mosport tomorrow, there are two races happening. One is the Players Atlantic race, and the other is the Players Challenge Cup race for ASA cars. And it wouldn't be any surprise if Players GM Motorsports Series current drivers or graduate drivers were standing on the podium tomorrow, demonstrating the fact that we collectively did our job very, very well. Over my tenure as the race director of the Players GM Motorsports Series, I've learned an awful lot from a lot of tremendous people, and I just want to say thank you very much. Good night.
Come on, one more for Alan. He's never been surly at all in all the time I've known this young man. Alan, have a great night tonight. If anyone should party, Marty owes you a drink. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to call the Assistant Director of Engineering from General Motors of Canada. Would you welcome to our podium Mr. Al Grando? Al, come on.
Good evening. It's hard to see you here with all the lights shining in my face. Alan had a very short speech. I've got a slightly longer speech here, maybe 4 or 5 or 6 pages. But I'm going to try to get through them very quickly. As a matter of fact, I may not use most of this at all. First of all, it really is a pleasure to be here speaking to you tonight on behalf of General Motors of Canada. And while I'm taking credit tonight, we really do owe a lot to Martin. And Alan expressed that earlier, and I'd like to say again thanks to Martin, and please give him a round of applause. Now, as you may remember, this series was born in 1986, and that was seven seasons ago, 6 years ago. It's 7 short years ago, and it's unbelievable the level of professionalism and maturity that this series has reached in that short time. And as a matter of fact, it was probably unimaginable, certainly in our minds, back at its inception. Of course, it wouldn't have been possible without the hard work and dedication of many of the people, and that's really what we're here to do tonight, is to reward and honor those people, and of course, have some fun while we're doing it. So, first of all, I'd like to thank the team that runs the day-to-day activities and makes the events happen, such as tonight. It's all very smooth and even for us enjoying it tonight, but it was a lot of hard work for the people that made it happen, and as it was with the series. So first of all, of course, was Alan Chapman. Alan, we really appreciate your efforts. You and your team were well appreciated. And by the way, please feel free to clap after each one of these introductions, because we're going to have a variety of people that we're talking about. So Alan, thanks again. And certainly I don't want to forget about the scrutineers and the race organization that helped to make the series possible. So for ASN Canada and for all the scrutineers, please, my appreciations and those of General Motors of Canada. Now, it's also with great pride that I'd like to offer my appreciation and hopefully share yours with the General Motors of Canada Motorsports team. And I'll mention a few names individually, and please give them a round of applause in between, they'd appreciate it. Dennis Abramoff. Pat Kasabek. Bill Ball, who unfortunately, well, he appreciates that, but he's not here with us tonight. Unfortunately, or fortunately, his daughter is getting married tonight, and I'm going to have to talk to him about his priorities. I think he's really got them mixed up here. And of course, thank you on behalf of Bill. And of course, Earl, the Duke of Earl. Duke. Secondly, I'd like to thank our associate sponsors, Goodyear. They're the best race tires we've had on the series all year and for the last 7 seasons. They're the only tires, but they have made wonderful tires. I don't know of any problems we've had with tires, and we've enjoyed their relationship or our relationship with Goodyear, both on the OE side and the racing side. So Goodyear, thank you very much. Sunoco. I don't know what to say about Sunoco. I remember the 260 Sunoco fuel when it was first introduced, and this weekend there was quite a controversy about leaded fuel in racing in Canada. So I don't know whether you can keep us in racing or not, but Sunoco, thank you very much for your participation. Similarly, in the West, Mohawk has been an excellent contributor, and we appreciate your efforts. And of course, I guess I have to say something about GM Parts, although the people from Motomaster tonight probably would prefer that I don't say anything, so. But Larry, thanks anyway. Thirdly, a special thanks to our partner and co-sponsor Players. We've had a wonderfully productive and we sincerely believe a mutually beneficial relationship. You know, Players is perhaps the leading Canadian company in motorsport sponsorship. You've got a tradition that extends over 30 years of involvement in the sports in Canada, and that's certainly something to be very proud of. We're very fortunate to have been able to work with them in the creation and execution of this series. However, even in an organization like Players, it's the people that make the difference. And as such, we would especially like to recognize the team members that worked very closely with us in this series. And I'm going to mention a few names. Jean-Claude Torquia, JC, who I believe is not with us tonight, but many of you know him. Nick Bumbaco. Wade Stevenson. Chris Dominkovich, he's so busy tonight, he's back in the back, and he didn't even have time to have dinner with us. Where is he? Oh, what are you doing? You're supposed to be back there, Chris. And a special thank to our main contact and Players at Players, the sports marketing manager, Tom Moser. Tom? You know, I could go on all night naming names of people who have been involved and contributed in their own way, but I'm not going to do that. All I can say is, in the words of Billy Crystal, you know who you are. But really, the main reason we're here is to honor the people that have really made this whole series possible, and that's the drivers, the teams, and the sponsors. We've had 7 wonderful years. They could arguably be called the best and most exciting years of racing in Canada. You're the ones who made it all happen, and I'd like you to give yourself a big round of applause, please. This is somewhat of a sad occasion. After all, today's race was the last race of the Players Limited GM Motorsports Series, and this banquet is the last banquet. After all, it is the end of an era in motorsports. But while this represents an end, however, it does not represent the end of our participation in General Motors of Canada in motorsports. Now, I don't want you to read too much into this. You know, we don't have another series in the wings waiting to be announced. But, yeah, boo, hiss. We do appreciate the value of motorsports as a method of marketing our products. And we're still continuing to evaluate how we can integrate motorsports into our marketing efforts. And we'll be doing that. So GM is not out of racing. But we are out of the Players GM Motorsports Series. So anyway, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy this evening. Thank you for your patience, and thanks again.